All right, everyone. It is Wednesday, one day removed from Taco Tuesday. My name is Captain Crush. I will be your host for the next 15 or so minutes. I appreciate you stopping by. If you're new here, what is it that I do? I go over PrizePicks, Underdog Fantasy, Thrive Fantasy, No House Advantage, DraftKings, FanDuel, anything involving fantasy sports and player fantasy stats. I cover it here and give you the ways to win so you can become a better fantasy sports player. It's that simple. If you give me 15 to 20 minutes every single day, I promise that I will get you on the right path and will help you long term become a profitable player in this hobby that we both love. All right. First up, we have two games today. Miami Heat, New York Knicks. Knicks minus 3.5, over under 209. Everyone that's been following me, you guys know how I feel about this game. It has stinker written all over it. I just can't stand this series. Next, Lakers, Warriors. This should be a barn burner. Over under 226, minus 7 favoring the Warriors. It's absolutely amazing to me how this spread keeps on flipping based on who's away and who's home. You can't make this up. It's great. Vegas is assuming that they're going to get torched. 7 points is a lot, even in NBA. So what we will do first is go over to Thrive Fantasy, where I make my two-mans every day. But today is Win More Wednesday. They give a special 11x payout on 4 props, so that's why I have 4 listed for you here today. First up, RJ Barrett, less than 20.5 real points. Jalen Brunson, more than 10.5 rebounds plus assists. Kevin Love, 13.5 points plus rebounds. Draymond Green, 22.5 points, rebounds, assists. All right, new users, use code CRUSH. You will get a free square today, which is LeBron James, over 0.5 real points. Take out RJ Barrett, put in that free square with LeBron James, and you will get a pick 4 for 11x right there. Appreciate it. Let's go over to PrizePicks, where I discuss these fantasy scores. Okay, so here we are on PrizePicks, where we can discuss these fantasy scores. We got Jimmy Buckets at 48. You know, that's pretty high. I will cover the usage rates and fantasy points per minute shortly. I just want to give a brief rundown. Folks, I'm not high on this game. I never am. Probably going to fade all of these. The only one that I may take is Bam Adebayo, under 33.5 fantasy points, but even then, I don't love it. I'm not in love with it. Jalen Brunson, 41.5 fantasy points. He should be at 39. Now he's inflated. He had a decent game. He had a decent game the one before. Now he's at 41.5. So most likely for your cap, it's just going to be a fade the prop. Julius Randle, same thing. He let us down big league last time. He fouled out. He needed one more rebound. He pushed. He could have got 10 and gave us the W. Instead, we got a push. RJ Barrett, I would probably be looking at the under here, but again, I'm just not going to target any of these. I just really don't like them. But for those of you that want to go ahead and target them, let me give you the rundown on what the fantasy points per minute is, okay? Okay, so as you can see, Jalen Brunson, 1.14 fantasy points per minute, 27% usage rate. Julius Randle, 1.3 fantasy points per minute, 29% usage rate. Jimmy Butler, 1.27 fantasy points per minute with a 25% usage rate. Bam Adebayo, 1.15 fantasy points per minute, 25% usage rate. RJ Barrett, 0.092 fantasy points per minute, 26% usage rate. That is the first game that I wanted to cover. So you can average these guys to play about 30 to 35 minutes with a cap ceiling of about 40 if overtime and whatnot. If you were dead set, you're like, Captain, I don't care what you say. I want to target this game. I'm all in. I'm a degen. I got an appointment at the Plasma Bank tomorrow, so I can afford to lose some coin. If that's what you're saying, then let's see. I'll give you Jimmy Butler over 48 because I never really take under on Jimmy Buckets. It's just not something that I think is profitable long term. And then I would probably pair it with Jalen Brunson, 41.5 over, if you're so inclined to take overs from here, if you want that sweat. Okay, but for me, I ain't interested, fam. Let's move on. LeBron James. What do I always say about these type of props? We will ride that train till we are forced off. And guess what? LeBron James, red. Some of you are going to look at that and be like, Cap, it's all 5 red. He's due for a bounce back. You're absolutely right. He is. But in this situation, this is LeBron James. He's pacing himself. I watch these games every night. He doesn't turn it up. I haven't seen a LeBron James 150% yet. I haven't seen it. He doesn't need to. They've been getting it done. Role players, step guys up like Lonnie Walker. Who called Lonnie Walker last time? Who got made fun of last time? Me, Captain Crush. I was ahead of all of them. Stephen A. Smith, ESPN Media that doesn't know what they're talking about. They're writers. They're always far behind because they don't even watch sport. They're literally just talking heads. They're bobblehead. Lonnie Walker is a crusher. He's been crushing. He crushed on the Spurs, and put some respect on his name because the kid can ball. That being said, let's go back to LBJ. Is it scary taking the under on LeBron James fantasy score? You bet everything that it is, okay? This used to be at 50. Now it's down to 47. Just because of the fact it's at 47 makes me want to go ahead and take more. But I always say, ride the train till you're forced off. So just continue to take less. If he sells tonight, we've made plenty of money taking this under. We will take it one more time until we are forced off that train. Curry, 48.5 fantasy score. What do I always say about Curry? We keep getting these same games over and over. So by now, a lot of you guys should have this stuff drilled into your heads. And if not, then I'm not doing my job right. And that makes me sad. Okay? Tear for the cap. Curry, 48.5 fantasy score. He went nuclear last game. 71 fantasy points, reminding me, you, and anyone within the sound of my voice that he can go for 50 to 70 fantasy points whenever he wants. However, I will stay away from his fantasy score. If you want to go there like I had last time, and I also got made fun of by the gremlins on live chat, his PRA would be a good candidate to take the over. But for me personally, I will fade this prop and I will just take Curry more 30.5. I wouldn't take the under here. I would just take his points over 30.5. Why, Cap? Why would you do that? Because, like I always say, Curry, if he hits his fantasy score, odds are he went off on real points because his fantasy score is directly tied to his ability to score buckets. They are symbiotic, I guess you could say. I can't think of the word that I'm trying to say. They're directly correlated. They are directly correlated for everyone on the board, obviously, but shooters more so than others. He gets assists and rebounds. He can. He just got a triple-double last game to show everyone. But I would rather just take his real points. But don't take the under. You can take more or just fade the prop. Fine with that. AD, he sold last game. He didn't have to do much in the fourth. They had role players step up. Anthony Davis, 55.5 fantasy score. I will continue to take the over. And if I get burned, I get burned. He has a 65 ceiling. I'm not interested in taking the under. I will just take more. It's one of those things. It's a gut call. Let's go take a look at the fantasy point per minute. Okay, Anthony Davis, 1.53 fantasy points per minute, 28% usage rate. LeBron James, 1.48 fantasy points per minute, 33% usage rate. And then we have Curry, 1.45 fantasy point per minute, massive usage rate, 31%. Klay Thompson, 1.04, 26% usage. Andrew Wiggins, 0.98 fantasy points per minute, 21% usage. Okay, remember, the Warriors are 7-point favorites. I'm continuing to take the over on AD. Hopefully he scores more points this time. He gets those blocks and steals, which is just massive equity for his fantasy score. I'll take it. I wouldn't take the under, but if you don't want to take more, just fade the prop, no problem. All right, Wiggins, he's that guy. I told you guys, he sold, and then guess what? Paid back right here. Sold, paid back. We were off of him, and now he sold again. What I would do with Wiggins, mathematically, the correct play is to take the under, but for me, I'm just fading the prop. Klay, under. I don't care. If I want to target Klay, I will take his real points or something like that. I'm really not interested in his fantasy score. He is literally one of the most disappointing players that I've seen. However, Klay Thompson, his ability to get hot from three or from anywhere is just absurd. He can literally come on the court tonight and put up 30 real points, and guess what? Me, the captain, the crusher, I won't blink. I won't be surprised. I won't shed a tear. I won't complain because I will sit there and say, I did the mathematically right, correct play. I took the under on his fantasy score, but Klay gonna Klay, and he came out and he scored 30 real points. They got the W. There's nothing I can do. The slip is chalk. We're moving on. All right? It's that simple. Austin Reeves, baller Reeves, the reason the Lakers won last game. He put up a real good performance. Him and Lonnie Walker. I'll fade the prop on Austin Reeves. I'm not sure what I'm going to do there. Draymond Green, over 32 fantasy points. He's due a big game. I don't know if it's coming tonight, but he is due a big game. But again, I probably won't go there. These are probably going to be my 3 favorites from this game. Again, I'm just not really interested in all these fantasy scores are right where they need to be. Folks, we don't force the issue here. If I don't like a prop, I ain't going to tell you to play it just for the sake of making content. It is what it is. If I don't like the board, I don't like it. I'm not a degen. I play to win. This is all about winning, and winning. Making the right play day after day, night after night. You're not going to win every night. Newsflash, you just can't do it. It's impossible. But what you can do is you can be a winner at the end of the year with a 4 to 5% return on your investment, which is absolutely great. That is like the benchmark. If you get 4 to 5% at the end of the year, you, my friend, are in an elite bracket. You should hope for 2 to 3%. This whole thing is not a get rich quick scheme. This is about sports, having a hobby, having action on the game, which makes it more fun. The whole idea is to make teams and players that you wouldn't normally care about. Now you're invested. It's fun. You have action. And this is what we love to do. It's fun. It's all about fun. You only get one go around in life, and it's good to have fun. All right, I covered the fantasy scores. Let's move on to other props that I like on the board. Okay, so this particular segment of my video is where I cover the other props that are on the board that aren't related to fantasy scores that I like. Right now I've been showing anywhere from 3 to 7 props, and they've actually been doing really good. But the reason I'm showing this and showing what this is because this is what my Discord members / Dub Club, whichever it is that I'm using, can be expecting. I will have a list of about 5 to 10 props every single day for whatever sport I'm targeting, PGA, WNBA, MLB, NBA, NFL, whichever, that I will be giving those members on the daily. In addition to that, I will still be doing free YouTube videos and live streams every single day, so don't be upset. Don't think that whatever I'm abandoning anybody, because I'm not. I'm just giving those that want a way to support me and want more in-depth value to get it. It's that simple. This is how this works, guys. It is what it is. And for those of you that have already signed up using my code, I appreciate you guys. I have you guys on a list. You will get your 1 month free trial. You are already in the mix. I have it taken care of. That promise will be honored. Okay? That being said, let's take a look at these props. All right? Okay, so here we have Bam Adebayo over 0.5 block shots and Kevin Love under 8.5 points. Kevin Love under 8.5 points is a little bit scary. I'm not going to say it's not, because I hate taking unders on guys that can just torch you. But Kevin Love under 8.5 points is a 53% chance to hit, and it's minus 135. My model has him for less than this as well. I didn't write that down, but I did check all of these via that model, and it is good. Okay. Bam Adebayo over 0.5 blocks is 54% chance to hit with a minus 150. Listen, blocks and steals hit props are always scary. They're the most volatile ones besides turnovers, 3 points made. So 3 points made, turnovers, blocks, and steals, those are the hardest props regardless of the math. There's always going to be an edge in Vegas's favor. They're the most volatile prop there is on the board. Okay, but I really like these two. Let's move on. Okay, I wanted to talk about these 3 props in particular. Jimmy Butler under 6 assists, LeBron James more 14.5 rebounds plus assists, and Stephen Curry, if you will, over 30.5 real points. I already touched on him briefly. Let me give you the math. Jimmy Butler under 6 assists, 53% chance to hit, minus 130. Curry over 30.5 real points, 52% chance to hit, minus 130. LeBron James over 14.5 rebounds plus assists, 52% chance to hit, minus 130. And then they are listed here. I want to give you my opinion. Jimmy Butler under 6 assists. Okay, if he gets 6, which I think he can, it's a push. He has to get 7 to beat us. Okay, he hasn't been distributing as much. He's been more of a ball hog, just taking it to the rack himself. LeBron James 14.5 rebounds and assists. This is a difficult prop. I've been on both sides of this. Before it was at 15 or 16. Now it's lowered down to 14.5. He's been getting a lot of rebounds. He's been putting up a few dimes here and there. I think I'm just going to trust the math. Again, what do those hit rates mean? 52% chance. Cap, what does that mean? It means it's not a true 50-50 like most of the props on these boards. Those are the ones we want to target. 52% chance means if you run it 100 times, 52 times you're going to win, 48 times you're going to lose. That means you want to be on the side that's winning more than not. That 2%, some of you guys I've seen in the comments, what does that 2% mean? Who cares? It's just 2%. Bro, 2% in mathematical sports betting or any type of betting or any stock market, 2% is a huge number. You have got, listen, if you hear anything from me today, you have got to retrain your mind to thinking about these percentages as huge terms. 1%, 2%, 3%, the lot of it. Those are big numbers when we're talking about calculations as far as a stock market, or sports, fantasy sports, stats, any of that, which is what all this is. It's a stock market. These are our assets. These are what we're going in on. This is what we're doing. It's about reading trends, being ahead of the public, exactly like a stock market. If you're good at one, you'll be good at the other. Let me tell you. All right. I wanted to discuss these 3 right here, which we did. Curry over 30.5 points. My analysis, my opinion, the captain's point of view is that it is a gut call for me. The math is there, so I'm already good with the math. The trends are there. He's been hot. They need to win. It's a must-win game for them tonight. It is what it is. They lose, they're done. So 30.5 real points. That means that Curry is going to be shooting the ball a lot, which is what I honestly think he's going to be doing tonight. I think that he's going to take over, which we haven't seen besides last game where they got that L. And I think that tonight they get the win, and I think it's because Curry gets hot. Okay, one more prop that I want to talk about. Gabe Vincent over 12.5 points plus rebounds. Anybody can hate on Gabe Vincent. He's one of the most tilting players in my lineup to roster. Anytime I target Gabe Vincent, he always seems to be a sweat, a sell, or barely make me the cash. You know what I'm saying? I know you know what I'm saying. But we will trust the math here. it is 53% chance to go over. It's minus 125. So that means we're going to win more often than we are going to lose. This is a prop that I'll be targeting. And fam, I am not afraid to roll dice. I'm not afraid to have a slip chalk. I'm not afraid of that. Why, Cap? Don't you value money? I value money more than anyone you could imagine. But what I do value most of all is bankroll management. If I have $100 in my PrizePicks account, I'm only betting $5 to $15 that night. I will spread it around 3 different slips or wait for happy hour, which happens on Wednesday, where you can only bet $1. That is what you need to be doing. This is not a way for you to get rich overnight. Remove that from your head. Just worry about making the right plays. And this, unfortunately, as ugly as it is the right play tonight. If you don't like it personally, don't take the under, just fade the prop. You can always fade the prop, boys and girls. I encourage you to do that. If you don't like something, just fade the prop, all right? The last person that I'm going to talk about. How many of you folks have been watching ESPN and those talk shows? I try not to watch them because they mess with your head and they don't know what they're talking about. But I do watch it to learn from the mistakes that they make. And I do watch it to see who's in the news, because these guys are human beings just like me and you, and they watch that stuff too. They hear about it. Jordan Poole has been getting slammed on the media. He's been saying that he's garbage. He hasn't shown up. He hasn't done anything. He's upset with Steve Kerr, etc. There's a ton of drama surrounding it. That being said, they need to win tonight, and I will take Jordan Poole over 9.5 real points because I like the narrative of him trying to show out tonight and remind everybody what he's capable of. His shot, he admittedly said his shot isn't falling right now. He's not sure what's wrong with it, but he is a great basketball player. He's a great shooter, and he can get back on track any given time. I know he wants it. If I was him, I would want it more than anyone right now to shut everybody up. It's that simple. Jordan Poole, over 9.5 points, 52% chance to hit, minus 125. So not only do we get the math in our favor, but we have the narrative. And if you don't want to take it, if you say, Captain, he's trash, he's on my ban list, which I don't recommend you have a ban list because that's a losing mentality. Like Tobias Harris last night, ring, ring, he's on your list, but guess what? He cashed for all of us. 9.5 points, Jordan Poole, take more. It's a narrative play. The math checks out. I will take it every day. So I've covered all these props. I've covered everything that I want to cover. Anything else will be discussed via live stream on TikTok later today when I get home from my golf game. And let's go over to Underdog Fantasy, where we make pick'em slips, and I did one for you folks right here. Okay, so here we are in Underdog Fantasy. I did a pick'em slip for everyone. Willie Adams, higher 0.5 hits. Pablo Lopez. These are always very tilting. They just are. Pablo Lopez, lower than 6.5 strikeouts. These are the most volatile ones on the board. I feel like I can never get these right, but mathematically, everything in this pick'em has checked out with the math. I promise you, these are the best mathematical plays to take on Underdog right now. Julius Randle, lower than 13.5 rebounds plus assist. Jimmy Butler, lower than 12.5 rebounds plus assist. And lastly, which we discussed on PrizePicks as well, Kevin Love, lower than 8.5 points. Don't have Underdog Fantasy? You're missing out. Use code CRUSH. You'll get 100% deposit match up to $100, but you'll also get a free month trial of my Discord when it launches, and it should be out very soon. I'm targeting Monday, and when I have it, you will know. A lot of you guys have been using my code. My DMs are blowing up. I have you guys on there. I will keep a note. You'll have your free month trial, and you'll get to see if you like it, and if you want at the end, you can renew. That'll be up to you. Again, promo code CRUSH. All right, make sure you send me the screenshot. That being said, are you going to tail or are you going to fade? It's up to you. One last thing that I want to do, which I get asked about all the time, and that is go over here. This is the last thing I wanted to do, was talk about Outlier Bet. This is what I get asked the most on. Captain, what are you using for your research? What can I use? A slick little app / website / everything. Here it is. Outlier Bet. This is what I do. I go over to props. I check all this out. This isn't just for PrizePicks, Underdog, and those sites, guys. This is for your DraftKings, your FanDuel Sportsbook. It tells you all the value you need. Duncan Robinson, over 0.5 assists, minus 155. It'll give you the last 10. Someone literally direct messaged me earlier asking this. It'll tell you the last 20, how many times he's hit this. This prop looks really nice. It gives you supporting stats and everything, and you can get this on DraftKings or FanDuel. It doesn't have to be PrizePicks. Some of these props are going to be on PrizePicks and Underdog, but a lot of them aren't. But again, you have access to other sports books, sleeper, things like that. You can go through here, and I'm not going to discuss them all. all, but I wanted to show you guys because I constantly get asked. The one thing that I do every single day, I read it like I would a newspaper on the walks first thing before I start anything. I go here, they do these insights, they give you these little nuggets of sports tidbits that are good to know. It'll help you out. It gives you what prop to target because of the insight, and I really like it. If you go over to picks, usually this will have something that's trending in a parlay that it'll already do for you. That being said, this is called Outlier Bet. The link is in my description. It's in my link tree. Click it. You'll get a 7-day free trial. After the 7-day free trial, use code CPTN CRUSH and you'll get an extra 30 days. Okay? I wouldn't put my name on it if I didn't believe in it. They're updating it every single day. Go ahead and use it. It takes money to make money. All right. That's it. That's the video. You've reached the end of the video. You made it. I'm proud of you. Congratulations. If you learned anything at all, like and subscribe. It helps me push this video out via YouTube's algorithm and give other people a chance to come on here and learn the correct way to do this. So we're not hogging it. We're not playing against each other here, guys and girls. We're playing against the house. So everybody's on the same team. So that means no negativity in the comments, no negativity on Twitter. I want a positive community. Help each other out. The Discord will be your think tank. Use it to discuss and exchange ideas. I will be monitoring the chat. I will be monitoring Twitter. I want you guys to stay positive. A positive mindset is the key to everything in life, especially sports and fantasy sports. If you're already sweating and crying and going nuts after one quarter of play, this isn't going to be for you. It's just not. It takes a strong mind and a strong spirit to handle the ups and downs of this, just like a stock market, okay? My Discord will be coming soon. When it is, I will have the video up, so don't worry. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Yesterday, we crushed. The YouTube props in particular went 6 of 6. I have plenty of screenshots. I'll put one up here so you can see. Again, like and subscribe. Give me a salute. Appreciate it. Good luck. And as always, crush.